Hi everyone, Francine here. I'm just a few days away from my next Camino. I'm doing the Portuguese this time, and I had some people ask, are you doing anything different this time? Yes, I am. And I'll show you guys what are the differences that I'm gonna make for this Camino that I learned from the past. I'm gonna start by saying I'm gonna replace my king sandals. I did not like it being toed like that. Uh, I much prefer having just strap on, so I'm using those North Face instead, and then I can wear socks if I want to. Reason being is especially because the glue from the moleskin was coming off onto my feet, and then with those sandals, it kept like gluing my feet onto the sandals and then creating friction, so I ended up with a blister between my toes, so I'm not doing that again. And in talking about the moleskin, I'm also replacing the moleskin with the KT tape that is for blister prevention. They were also on sale for only 5 Canadian dollars. And I may not take any of the box, I'm just gonna take the tape. I like they come in different sizes, and they are to prevent blisters, so you put straight where you get the most blisters. I'm not even gonna bother waiting. I'm going from day one, just put it on and going from there. The other change that I'm making, because I do stay in albergues and I do try to save up, so I do end up cooking or buying stuff at the grocery store. I'm also changing my spork onto something else that I haven't quite decided yet. I do have this swag from just a contractor that is kind of cool because it's like a little kit that I can hang off my backpack. That may be a choice, or I may end up bringing my Swiss Army knife that has a knife, and in Canada you can't travel with less than 6 centimeters blade, but then bringing like a plastic fork, or I'm not sure. I did not like it, ended up breaking as well, and then it was just hard to like try to be cooking a couple things with the same fork and the spoon, and like you can barely cut anything. Like I just did not like. It's great how tiny it is, but didn't work very well. A lot of the albergues had microwave but didn't have bowl or cutlery or anything like that. So I'm changing that. I also had to get a new umbrella because I had just a dollar store last time and it lasted only a few days. So I ended up getting an actual hiking umbrella that folds up instead. So apparently it's supposed to help with the rain, with the packing, and it's supposed to last. Even come with some adapters so you can go hands-free. So we'll see about that. I may end up doing that. I'm also not bringing a fleece. I had this North Face fleece. And for the Primitivo, it was cold. I ended up losing my jacket, so I did not regret, but it's quite heavy. It's about 290 grams. So, and the Portuguese is gonna apparently be nice and warmer, so I'm just bringing a zip up light jacket instead. It's 100 grams lighter also. I'm also changing my socks. I had real Darn Tough and Smart Wool socks. They're quite thick at the bottom to help with hiking and preventing blisters, but they get quite warm, so they are like extra padded. So those are the ones from the Primitivo. You can see how in one pair I ended up losing. You can see how they're still in great shape, and they were socks that I already had and I already used on other hikes. But I'm thinking this time of using my lighter runners. This is just a super thin from Icebreaker. I'm not changing merino wool, that's still happening. This other one is for light hiking from Smart Wool. So it still has all the extra padding for the hiking, but because it's like lighter, it also has the spots for breathing that are much thinner and has the extra padding in the back. So I'm changing my socks. I'm also changing to a bigger fanny pack. I only had my money belt on the Primitivo, and it ended up like breaking the zipper and not having enough space. This one still has stuff from my last trip in it because it is my travel fanny pack with the extra compartment where I put money and my passport and then snacks and whatnot, camera, like not camera, my phone. And so I'm changing to a bigger fanny pack. I really felt the need for it there. I'm also changing my shoes. I had some real hiking oboes for the Primitivo, which were awesome because the Primitivo does have like some really steep areas that are like just trails. But apparently the Portuguese is more flat and has a lot of paved areas and cobblestones. So I wanted shoes that were better transitioning between different terrains. And the what is it? Outroad was the one that I ended up choosing. I like the big toe box. I went one extra size on this one. On the oboes, I only went half size up because I found them a little smaller than other shoes, but I'm not sure if it's only this model. Anyway, I changed the shoes as well because I wanted to have something that was more appropriate for the amount of pavement and boardwalks that I'm gonna, and less steep terrains that I'm gonna face. I'm also, this may sound excessive, but I'm bringing a lot more packs of coffee this time. Reason being because I wake up, I want coffee. I felt like a lot of the albergues didn't have coffee, or the coffee machines were coins only and I didn't have coins. Anyway, can't be without my coffee in the morning. The coffee in Europe is amazing. So yes, I'm not gonna skip any of the open bars, but it was just that a lot of the time I had to walk for a while before I could find an open bar. And at the grocery store, most of them only had like the big glass instant coffee. I want to be able to wake up, have a coffee, and then get out of the door. I'm also just bringing a few bags of tea, just because sometimes at night I really want something cozy, and I really love Bengal spice and peppermint tea. So just to make it easy, instead of having to go and find and buy a whole box of tea, and just a few electrolyte packs. I do like the Aquarius, so I'm still gonna have that there. It was just in case. I did find that some days on the Primitivo it was quite hot, and I wanted my water to have some flavor and be more refreshing, or even it was quite cold, and same thing. I just wanted some sweetness, flavor in my mouth. So and then there was nowhere to buy anything close, so I missed that. So I'm taking some of those. Another thing that I'm bringing that I didn't bring last time is protein powder. I felt a lack of protein on my diet, and they do have like little protein shakes at the grocery stores or extra protein yogurts, but those are just on the bigger grocery stores, not on the small ones. So just in case I can find something, I just want to have some extra. I never had an issue traveling with like just putting some in the Ziploc bag like that. I have traveled with protein powder before, several times actually. Haven't had an issue yet. I just have it on my carry-on. I actually most of the time just travel with a carry-on. I don't really like having a massive bag. I just repeat my outfits and do laundry. The other thing I'm gonna change is instead of having 2 pairs of shorts, this time I'm actually just bringing a little dress. This is for the girls, I know, but especially being at the beach, because I did swim on some creeks and at Finisterre and whatnot before. I just want something nice and easy to put on, take off. So, and this is super light and packed super small. So I'm definitely replacing 1 pair of my shorts for the dress. And those are the only changes I'm doing. What I'm not changing, and I still want to talk about, is my silk liner, because it's so small. Not bringing a sleeping bag again. Even though at the Primitivo was much colder, I do sleep in albergues, and I did find that they get quite warm. So if I was cold, I would start with layers, and then often by the middle of the night, I would have to strip off some of the layers because I was getting quite warm. I also found that a lot you could just borrow, but like I said, even when they didn't have any blankets to borrow, it was still okay. I wasn't cold. The one day that was really cold, there was quite nobody on the albergue, so I was able to borrow 3 blankets. So anyway, those are the only changes. I may end up making a full backpack video this time. I haven't done that last year because there's lots of packing videos out there. But I may end up trying to show you guys, because I try to pack really light. I carry only a 22-liter backpack, which is just technically a day bag, not really a hiking backpack. But that's all that I do. The rest is all gonna be the same. Even my outfits are gonna be the same from the Camino. I may or may not change my hat, haven't decided yet. But then it's only gonna be like between a trucker hat, I'm gonna wear a lighter hat. I don't know. I'll decide that closer to the day. But in general, I quite liked what I packed last time, so that's why there isn't that many differences this time. Those are just things that worked for me. I know each person has different needs, and so, like I always say, follow your own camino. Okay? I'll see you guys soon. Buen camino!